you have any questions?
I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy?
Let's not ask questions like that. Let's go to work.
Tonight, Roy.
Let's go to work.
No, como te digo, creo que me ganó 4 o 5 rounds máximo. El último round me sentí un poco cansado, quizás por el peso. Necesito ir a ver bien la pelea, obviamente, que es lo que tuve que hacer mejor, pero como te digo, creo que en lo personal perdí 4 o 5 rounds máximo.
So the question was, can you tell us a little bit about what you feel about the fight and you know, the way it was scored? And Canelo's answer was, well, I think, as I said, 4 or 5 rounds, I feel like he won maximum. I felt a little bit fatigued going into those final rounds. Perhaps it was because of the weight, but you know, I feel, as I say, that he only won 4 or 5 rounds.
The better man won. Tyson Fury was the better fighter. I'll be back. No excuses. Why bring up the weight? Why does he have people around him to say, Deontay, hold your head high. You fought your ass off. You damn near won that fight. Let's not say the wrong thing. God. Why not just say the better man won? Tyson Fury was the better fighter. I'll be back. No excuses. Why bring up the weight? Why does he have people around him to say, Deontay, hold your head high. You fought your ass off. You damn near won that fight. Let's not say the wrong thing.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So that clip you just heard, just in case you didn't know, that was from a DAZN boxing podcast show called The Ak and Barack Show. The guy that was speaking right there, his name is Ak, A.K. Now, with that summary, we go into what Canelo Alvarez said. Of course, Canelo Alvarez, he's now saying that it was most likely the weight. The weight had something to do with him losing. Keep in mind, when he was in the ring right after the fight, Canelo did a post-fight interview, and he said there were no excuses. He was the better man, but that all changed like an hour later when Canelo Alvarez did his post-fight press conference. Despite the fact that Canelo Alvarez, he actually looked just as big as Bivol, if not bigger than Bivol, when they were in the ring. This is the excuse that Canelo Alvarez is going with now. But this excuse may have seriously backfired on Canelo and the old media reporters that have been also using this excuse to try to defend Canelo. Because now that Dimitri Bivol has heard the excuse that Canelo Alvarez is using, Bivol is now saying maybe the next fight will be for his belts at super middleweight. Guys, this is a serious game changer if Bivol does this, because now it's going to be harder for Canelo Alvarez to turn down this rematch. Not only that, now, Canelo Alvarez, he's already been exposed as one of the most overrated boxers of all time. But if Dimitri Bivol goes down to 168, giving Canelo his best chance, and beats him, takes all of his belts, Canelo Alvarez's career is over. There's no coming back from that. Do you guys know how embarrassing that would be for Canelo Alvarez? How bad it would make him look? I mean, the weight excuse, it doesn't hold any water today, especially when you consider the fact that Canelo Alvarez's original plan was not to fight Bivol or Charlo or David Benavidez next. Canelo Alvarez originally wanted to move up to cruiserweight, or at least some kind of cruiserweight catchweight, and fight against Makabu. This guy right here that you see get knocked out for the second time in his career. Because he had a belt, this is who Canelo Alvarez was going to face. And it was going to be one of Canelo's easiest fights. Just like when he moved up for the first time to fight Rocky Fielding when he moved up in weight. So the fact that Canelo Alvarez was even willing to move up to cruiserweight completely kills an excuse of losing to someone at 175. Canelo, he tried to repeat the Eddie Hearn talking points by saying that he was chasing greatness. But you don't avoid all of the best, most dangerous champions in your own division and move all the way up just to fight someone who has a belt who's going to be a massive underdog. Can you think of any great fighters that have ever done this before? The greats beat the most dangerous opponents or champions in their division. Then when there's no one left, they move up to a higher weight class to try to conquer that division. Now, if Canelo Alvarez would have beat Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, and David Benavidez, and he feels there's no one left in these divisions, and he just moves up to light heavyweight for a new challenge, that would be chasing greatness because you've already cleaned up the divisions that you were campaigning at. The only way Canelo would have had a really good weight excuse is if he moved up to heavyweight or he moved up to 200 pounds to fight against Usyk. But unfortunately for Canelo and old media, that is not the case when it comes to Bivol. Bivol is a very small light heavyweight, and that's the reason why Bivol is so confident that he can come down to 168 and take Canelo Alvarez's belts. I mean, if you think about it, this is the type of confidence that can scare Canelo into even taking the fight. When he hears, man, this guy is willing to come down to 168 to fight for my belts? What have I gotten myself into? This is what Canelo Alvarez has got to be saying to himself, because there's almost no way out of this situation, or at least it's hard to justify it. Of course, Canelo, he could say, you know what, forget this. This guy is too tough. I'm going to take on an easier challenge. But that's just going to further prove how overrated Canelo Alvarez has always been. So it'll be really interesting to see what Canelo Alvarez decides to do next, who he decides to fight next. But for sure, the days of Canelo Alvarez cherry picking and fighting against C-level massive underdogs is over with. I mean, he can do it. Sure, he can continue to put money in his account, but his career will start to become more and more irrelevant. Let's see what he decides to do. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
I'm excited, dog.
Right,
So how long did that take right there?
how much are you saying?
Like 2 hours.
That was it?
For this the first section.
So this.
Oh, so it get better than that?
Oh yeah, I'm just starting him off. I gotta see him.
Well,
I
you
gotta see
came
him.
to the right man, dog.
So
You came to the right
this
one.
brother here walked in, looking to get his stuff done. He just got his first session. What do you think?
It definitely looked good. It's perfect to me. You know what I mean?
Perfect to me too.
He said.
Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Canelo's Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to Canelo's.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.